Hey, BZB TV fans. My name is Matt. I am back in San Antonio, back from Allen, Texas. Well, if you don't know where Allen is, it's Dallas. But myself and the other Matthew were in Dallas. We had a pretty good time over there. But joining me today, we've got Joel Cruz back at the BZB TV studio. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I am all right. That is exactly what I wanted to touch on. I know the M&M crew. We got the
The
Matthews.
M&M show.
Yeah, both representing at Capture Summit. So yeah, I mean, if you can take a few moments just to tell us how it went, what was going on. Was there a lot of traffic? What
So
is the
first of
deeds?
all, let me actually touch on what we did last week because it was kind of a back-to-back deal. So last week, Matthew and I were in Austin for TAB, Texas Association of Broadcasting. Pretty cool deal there. Unfortunately, I got really sick the day of the show, so Matthew had to fly that one solo. I feel bad about doing that, but sometimes you can't control everything. But this last week, and by this last week, I mean like starting on Monday, we did Capture Summit 2023, and that's put on by Church Production Magazine. It was an awesome event, really, really good for the House of Worship guys out there that are trying to take their production game up to the next level. Tons and tons of classes that are going on, and you can also come see us as vendors there while you got a little bit of downtime. So if you're a House of Worship guy, if you're a church videographer, or part of your church media team, whether it's like social media, just general like making the graphics and stuff, if you're a graphic designer, or if you happen to be a broadcast guy in your church, this is something you might want to look into in 2024. It was packed the entire time as far as like the attendees are concerned. There's a regimented schedule. There's tons of classes that you can attend. It was actually a really cool thing. It was a little slower for us on the vendor side, but it was still a good experience.
So with church, house of worship trade shows, are they a little different? Because to my understanding, I know part of the schedule was, typical trade shows is just all exhibiting, all showcasing product, solutions, whatnot. But at these church trade shows, do they have like many breaks where they have, they hold services at these
Yeah,
shows?
yeah, they were actually doing some
Oh,
worship
cool.
services
Mm.
throughout the day. Usually like in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. But yeah, they were having those. They had like keynote speakers that would come, and I don't know if they were doing sermons during the keynotes or not, but there was just a lot of stuff going on. So you name it, it was probably there. Whether that's like learning learning about a graphic design software like InDesign, or learning about how Black Magic. DaVinci Resolve can help you in your editing game or stuff like that. They had little breakout classes for those, and then they also had the keynote stuff.
All right. Yeah, interesting, man. So did they have any, I know we brought like Dante enabled stuff. Did you see Dante, was there Dante presence at the show from any other exhibitors?
I didn't see it personally. Doesn't mean it's not there, but speaking of Dante, you brought that up. I know a lot of churches, at least a lot of the people that I was talking to, they use Dante a lot for their audio side of things.
Yeah.
So, we do offer a couple Dante AVH options now for the video side, and I think Dante. Granted, I'm not the perfect person to talk about this. We do have the perfect person to talk about this, and I'll go ahead and bring him in. But we have
Do we?
Justin from Dante himself from Audinate.
Oh.
So, I know there's a little bit of a movement to not necessarily distance Dante from the audio side, because audio is still really important, but they want it to be more of a like, we do audio and video. It's not just digital audio over network anymore. Right,
Yeah, guys.
Justin?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Justin Alquist. I'm one of the technical trainers here over at Audinate. And yeah, when we first started out, we focused on audio, right? When it dealt with getting from the front of house console all the way to the stage, or in churches, or anywhere where we need to send audio. And now we have a video product out there. We have a slew of different cameras. We have the Dante AV Ultra stuff that uses a JPEG 2000 codec, the Dante AV-A, which we announced at Infocom, and we have the Dante AV-H cameras now, which uses that H.264 codec. And right here, I have one of your guys' cameras that you sent to me.
I love having the Adamo. I'm not going to go ahead and dive into the award-winning camera thing. So we'll pass right over that one. But thanks for joining us, Justin. As I understand it, you were actually at our office recently.
Yeah, I was there, was it last week?
You're here in this exact position than I am. We even have your the backdrop we're using
good
in
to
your
see
videos.
that again. I feel like low-key famous. My boss texted me because you guys made a post, and I was like, oh man, I'm out there. But yeah, I was at your office. I trained, I think, 3 or so of your guys, and we did an intensive walkthrough of Dante Controller, from knowing nothing to Dante Controller to now hopefully being a quote-unquote almost expert of Dante Controller. And we got signal routed around from audio to other audio devices. We got video routed around into Dante Studio, and we just had a really good time. So
is that like a common thing that you do in your job? Are you like the training guy?
Yes and no. I am one of the technical trainers. I normally teach our certification program.
Mm-hmm.
Either in person or during webinars, but this was one of my first times doing a private training with a manufacturer. And so it was a really cool experience to go to the manufacturer's facility, see them in person, see what they're working on, and kind of give them a deep dive of more than just their product, but an overall Dante, learning experience.
Okay. So, you said this was your first time in doing it in person. How do you usually approach training or certification?
So there's a few different ways. We do in-person trainings at conventions. Like, we did a training at NAMM this year, and we also did InfoComm, and we normally go in either doing level 1, 2, 3, which is a free certification that we offer. And we can dive deep into the specs in a second. Or when we go into in-person trainings, we do a lot of hands-on stuff now. So basically we have a Dante bootcamp class that we have been taking on the road to conventions, where someone who's never touched Dante gear before now has real gear in front of them and can get a Dante system up and running in a matter of seconds if they start working at it and learning at it. So
okay, awesome. So you said you could touch a little bit about the levels 1, 2, and 3. How does that like translate into like what does that exactly mean? Level 1, 2, or 3?
So we have the Dante certification program, and basically each level is kind of broken up. Level 1 obviously is our first certification, and that's basically, I like to call it our 101, our welcome to it. And we deal with basically basics of audio, basics of video, and basically dealing with an unmanaged network, just very simple network, get it up and running. Level 2, that's when we start diving really deep into the network itself, dealing with managed network switches, how to optimize that switch, and how to really start controlling the network and where our packets go. And then level 3, that's the big one. That's the big guy at the end of the certifications. And that's where we start dealing with level 3 networking. And we start dealing with a product called Dante Domain Manager, which helps us organize our devices into work groups and keep things kind of structured. So it just kind of grows as you go through it.
Okay. So what's kind of your day like? Just curious, what is the big difference that you've seen going from like doing the way that you would normally train at like events to going on site to, for example, like us? What is the difference between those two?
Oh man. So I guess the biggest difference is, level 1, 2, 3, that's a pretty structured class, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much, I have it down. I know what I'm going to teach. I have a formula that I go through. With you guys, it was, it's more of a specialty training. I had to see, okay, what do you guys know? What do you guys want to know? And kind of like built that training around you guys particularly. I didn't just go out there and start teaching you layer 3 networking. I basically said, what do you need to know? And we went from there.
Okay. So is that something you prefer a little bit more? Like that kind of more experience where it's a little bit more able to get into the weeds and see how somebody's doing and kind of figure it out from there?
I enjoyed it a lot. My computer went to sleep. There it is. Sorry.
No worries.
I enjoyed it a lot. I wouldn't necessarily say it's I enjoyed that experience more or less. I just like working with students, and I just like teaching, and I just like getting engaged with them and answering questions and just helping grow their knowledge, because I've been using Dante for 10 years, you know. I did a lot of live sound beforehand using Dante. So now that I can teach people who are just starting out, who used to be in my position, I can now share my knowledge with them and help them expand. And, you know, they might have a troubleshooting issue I can help them with, or a quick little, I'm not seeing my device, or how do I make a subscription in Dante controller? It's just when they get that aha moment in their head, that's what I really enjoy.
I think this will be the final question on like the on-site manufacturer side, but is that something like Audinate themselves are kind of looking into doing more of, like working with their partners and kind of doing those type of more focus?
There's nothing planned currently. Doesn't mean I'm not open to doing it, and I've definitely have started having conversations within my team, being like, hey, send me wherever you need me and I will be there. So I like being that guy. I really enjoy it.
Awesome. So, you know, maybe if you guys are out there and you need some help with your Dante setup, Justin might be the guy to get in contact with.
Yeah.
So we already talked a little bit about the different levels of Dante, but how does one basically find out about where to go to get certified? I mean, you mentioned like you have on the showroom floor for some of these things and whatnot. Like, is there a place where somebody could go on the website to see upcoming events?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. To see you, obviously we have our website. It's audinate.com, and we have a whole training tab in there. And if you go to audinate.com/events, you'll actually see all of our in-person events coming up, and also our upcoming webinars where we also teach level 1, 2, and 3 just via webinar. And we also have everything that we teach in person and during webinars in video format as well. So after you take the classes, you're going to have to take a test, and you just need to take the test at audinate.com/certify. And that's actually going to be where you take the test. We also have everything in video format if you didn't attend the class. So everything just kind of shuffles into that website. You sign up for your class through there, and you just can work your way through the videos and the tests. And once you pass, you become Dante certified, and you can tell your mom, you know, whoever you want to brag to.
So all it takes then to get Dante certified is just a willingness to learn, showing up, and then taking the test.
Exactly. And it's free. You know, that's the best part about it. It's easy to do. It's free. And it only takes about 2 hours per level to watch all the video content or even attend a class.
Besides the obvious on like just getting to know the system better, what are the advantages of getting Dante certified?
The biggest one is it lets others know that you have the skills. You know, a lot of companies reach out to us and want you to verify their certifications. So we verify them. You know, more and more we're seeing on job applications, they want people to be Dante certified. They want people to know the network. And so coming from my background of just being an audio guy, you know, I didn't know the network. Now that I know the network, it's just another tool I have in my tool belt, you know? So it's growing more and more out there, and you'll see it more and more.
I might have to go ahead and take some of this, the certifications, just because I'm not a networking guy. Like, as far as actual physicalized LAN or whatever, I don't really know the network side of things. So learning some of that stuff would probably be pretty useful for myself.
That was actually one of Justin's prerequisites before he came and wanted to, you know, speak with the team here was, you know, hey guys, you know, just so you guys can, I know you probably know a little about, you know, Dante and ABH and all that, how it works, but can you guys please, you know, complete the level 1 training? I think it was like level 1 and 2, or I think it was just level 1, just to, you know, get the gist of everything. So yeah, so our guys did a little homework prior to Justin coming over here. So
yeah, it was really helpful because, you know, when I start saying terms and Dante related words, I need you guys to understand what I'm coming at, you know, otherwise it's a
right.
Yep.
Well, we really appreciate you coming out to the studio. That was really cool of you to like go out there and train us on a lot of this stuff. Another question for you though: what's your favorite part of the job at Dante?
Oof.
Doesn't have to be directly training related. Like just any perk of the job at Dante.
Oh man, probably just the people I work with. You know, a lot of us are. We don't all work in one location. A lot of us are remote.
Mhm.
So when we do get together at a convention or an event of some sort, all of a sudden it's like a family reunion. You know, we're all there and it's good to see everyone and it's just good to catch up. So I work with a really good team of people out here.
Same here. I mean, I feel like I just saw Matt at Infocom in Florida. He was stationed here in Sacramento, but now he's in Texas, so I don't get to see him. I get to see him once a week through a TV screen. But yeah, it was good to see him, in person, live. Tangible, right? I can feel him. So yeah, it's good. I know what you're talking about. How the people you work with and.
Hey, I'm available anytime on the TV screen. So let me know. I got you. All right. So on the flip side of that, what's probably like the most commonly asked questions you get in regards to specifically Dante?
Yeah, like the troubleshooting.
Man. Yeah, the troubleshooting questions, they always come from all sorts of different angles. They always come, people ask me, well, I can't connect these devices, or I'm not seeing these devices, or I have clocking issues of some sort. It's all the time, but really what I'm about to say comes straight from our certification program. Dante level 3, you got to figure out where your problem's coming from, first of all, and how to troubleshoot that problem. Most of the time, we all know, is it plugged in? Is it turned on? Those are basic questions we all learn.
Did you restart the system?
Exactly. So it's like, I'm not even going to ask that, right? When it comes down to it, there's 3 things we look at. We look at, is the problem on the network, is the problem on the device, or is the problem your computer? So once you can narrow down those 3 options, and in our Dante certification program, we explain how to kind of trouble those 3 options. Then you can start narrowing it down even farther and figuring out where your problem lies, and just make things work in the Dante network. So
process of elimination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd imagine those are pretty common. What's like the most common thing that you get asked for troubleshooting out of those kind of like 3 areas? Is it mostly network related?
It's mostly device related, I would say, just on my end at least. A lot of the times a device will show up red in Dante controller, and if it's red, that means that device is having an issue. And most of the time you can click on the device, read what that device issue is having, and most of the times the ones I see is it's just in the wrong subnet. Either that device is in static or there's just something going on. So just reset that device's to DHCP, so you're automatically pulling that IP address. Hopefully it comes back as, it shows up proper, and you can start making your subscriptions within Dante controller. So.
All right. Well, I think I would be remiss if I didn't ask you to give the audience just a little bit of a taste of kind of the whole training certification. So as I understand it, you have some stuff that you can kind of mess around with here.
Yeah.
You can show us.
Yeah, I wanted to show you, Dante Studio and show off your camera and just get them connected and bring it into something called OBS.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me share my screen.
We can see just exactly how easy it is to work with Dante.
Okay.
Because I know that's a big thing that a lot of people want to know, especially churches. Houses of worship are always huge on how simple is it? Is it going to take me a long time to kind of teach my volunteers? Because they have a big volunteer subset.
Great. So can you see my screen?
I can, and I'm about to add it to stream. So it's all white currently, but I did see something earlier.
Just let me know when you can see it.
Not yet. Well, in the meantime, Joel. What's been going on at the studio, Joel?
Going on here, I'm trying to find some popcorn. I feel like we're gonna see some good content.
Some good content. I think you mentioned something about you guys had a little show that you're going to this weekend with the kids.
Oh yeah, where I'll really
something to
need
do with your
popcorn.
shirt.
Oh yeah. I got my Ninja Turtles attire on right now. We're gonna go watch it this weekend. They actually started school today, so their summer break is officially over. And so I'll treat them out this weekend. I actually went last weekend, took them out to the Santa Cruz Boardwalk, but also we saw Haunted Mansion, the new Disney movie. So this is I don't know if they did it before with Eddie Murphy, but this one for a Disney movie, just a little disclaimer for the parents that want to take their kids, it was pretty scary for a Disney movie. Partway through I kind of was questioning myself, like, did I make a bad decision? But I kept looking at the kids, and they looked pretty like focused on the screen, but I was talking to them throughout, and they actually loved the movie coming out. They said that was their favorite one now. They can handle it. But even for there are a few scenes where I said, man, Disney, is this a Disney movie? But it was great. So yeah, this weekend I'll take them out again. We love going to the movies. So yeah, I'll treat them out.
All right. Well, I can see our StreamYard there, Justin, but it looks like it keeps going to white when you click off to whatever it is.
All right, you want me to try resharing real quick?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I did see.
Yeah, we actually had a really cool experience while we were in Dallas, Joel. I went out to dinner with Matthew, and one of his friends from high school happened to be out there that he hadn't seen in a long time. But his name's Rob, and shout out to Rob. The man has one of the coolest cars I've ever seen. It was a Dodge Charger, or it might have been a Challenger. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with that. But he had a 1,200 horsepower car, man. 1,200 horsepower. He does a lot of drag racing on the side, so it was a really cool experience to see it.
Is that street
real
legal?
Loud. Yeah, I think so.
Wow, crazy. I know, like Teslas, or I forgot what the other electric car, Lucid, or they're also based in Fremont. But I remember going to their web page one time, and they advertise on the main screen like 1,000 horsepower. Well, I guess with electric cars, it's calculated differently, but it equated to 1,000 horsepower. And it just kind of blew my mind that these cars can. Well, I guess with electric cars, it's just instant power.
It's a little different for electric
Teslas
cars
take
too,
off
because they're heavier. They're a lot heavier. They get instant torque, and they're a lot heavier.
And then regular cars, I mean, you have the whole system where you step on the gas. There's a process, right? The gas, the fuel, punches in. Then you got the air intake. It has to work through the car, through the muffler, going out the back. But with electric cars, they have no they have no intake, no muffler, no nothing. It's just you step and it's instant go. So.
Yep. All right, Justin, what are we looking like?
All right, do you see my screen?
I can see our StreamYard stream.
All right, do you see my desktop?
We do see your desktop. We are good to go.
Awesome. So here, you can see this is my camera right here, and this is a program called OBS, and this is just a free streaming software that you can get online, and it's great for demoing this kind of situation. Over here we have Dante Controller, where this is where you make all your subscriptions between devices. I have my transmitters on top, and where those transmitters are going to receive on the side. And over here, I have Dante Studio, which is our software that allows us to bring cameras into places like OBS, vMix, and any kind of streaming service. So just to show you how easy this is, I have my camera that you guys sent to me right here. And all you got to do to make a subscription is just click your camera's video feed to my Dante Studio feed. I wait for my subscription, and I can see my subscription is successful down here. Now in Dante or in OBS, all you have to do is change my video setting, right? So I double click on my device, change it from my camera that you guys are seeing me to the Dante Studio, hit OK. And just like that, I have my camera into Dante Studio. So it's really just as easy as that. Click of a button and you can get your video routed to wherever you need to. So,
and that's like for the entirety of the Dante controller system. Like everything's just a click of a button, right?
Exactly. I mean, it's easy. Just start clicking, routing, and you're good to go. So
awesome. And you love to see our Adamo doing its thing over there, but man, I mean, like legitimately, guys, if you have never used Dante, maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this. Like Justin is, but it is really a super simple solution. We've set it up a few times at the trade shows, Joel, and everybody's always like, "Oh, it's that easy." And it's like, yeah, it really is that easy. Go ahead, play around with it. So we try and show that portion off with the computers that we set up, so they can have the opportunity to mess around with Dante controller.
Yeah, that's what's great about it. You can have a Dante system up and running in a matter of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and on top of that, again, I'm going to plug House of Worship because it's on the mind because I was just there. A lot of these guys already have a Dante system already just because of audio side. So this is going to made up exactly with the audio system already. So as far, at least that's my knowledge on that, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you really looked at systems, let's say Dante AV got announced like a few years back, and before that you had two networks, right? You had your audio network and your video network. Now AV, we have one network, both sources on the same network getting sent around with a single 1 gigabit link, a single clock leader to control all this, and just routing with a click of a button. So it's really that easy, that simple. It's great.
Hopefully our camera made it just as easy. Hopefully.
Oh, it was one of the easiest ones, so I loved it.
We love to hear that. Joel, do you have any questions regarding Dante or Audinate for Justin?
Just for, I guess, future, your future plans. I don't know if you can, if you're allowed to say anything, or if you could tease, viewers at home, any upcoming things you're going to debut, say at the next trade show.
I can just say, you can stay up to date with us at audinate.com/events. You'll be able to see where we're at, what we're going to be doing in person, any webinars, things like that. For myself, any of the US trade shows, that's typically where I'll be to teach. As for what's coming out, you'll just have to wait and see. So,
all right, where can we find more of Justin? Can we find
more of me?
Justin?
More of my greatness?
Yeah.
I think the plans is I'll be at AES NAB New York. I think I'll be at NAM 2024, and of course Infocom 2024. But I'm around. You'll see my face. Don't worry.
Will we see you on the Audinate YouTube?
That's the goal. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Okay. So if you guys want more Justin, go ahead and go to the Audinate YouTube channel. You might find him there.
In the meantime, you could go to the BZB TV YouTube channel and find some great content from Justin. Actually, this is two types of content now.
Exactly. Yeah.
A little bit of a plug for ourselves while we're at it.
Yeah, I know I'll be in some of your guys' videos coming up, so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Justin, are we missing anything with Dante here?
As of right now, I can't think of anything. If you want to get Dante certified, you want to learn more, our certification program, I can't recommend enough, and it's free at audinate.com/certify.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you. Just a quick little tuning in to Audinate here and getting to know a little bit more about Dante and Dante certification. We really appreciate you guys coming on and watching the show. Justin, more specifically, we really appreciate you coming on and doing the show with us, sir. Despite, a little bit of hiccups, but that's just the nature of live broadcasts. It always happens. And,
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We actually do have one quick question, though, before we go.
Okay.
Trayvon wants to know if he can get an autographed shirt from you.
An autograph on his shirt from me. If you find me at a show, I will
take it off right now. Take it off right now and sign it live on TV.
I will
here.
sign something for you. I don't know if I'll get rid of my shirts, but I'll sign something for you.
Oh, we should have asked them when Mr. Justin was here live in the office.
Absolutely. You missed your opportunity, Trayvon. I'm sorry. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and we will see you guys in the next episode. I believe we're going to have a pretty cool episode coming up here live. So you might want to keep your eyes out for it. We're going to have another guest from abroad. I'm not gonna share too much information, but keep your eyes peeled on our socials for more information coming up. So again, have a great weekend, guys, and we will see you guys next time.